let's take a look a bit more into INEC's budget. It's International Women's Day. Okay, it's Women's Month. Since Women's Day was March 8th. Now let's take another part that caught our interest there is the budget, 269.45 million naira allocated for gender and inclusivity. I actually don't know what that means, but perhaps, Nike, you have an idea. And I would also like you, both of you, to speak as to, because when we did this on Tuesday, someone actually sent me to it. I was like, oh, Nancy, you should know that there's a difference between budget and money released. And I said, of course I know that.
Yes.
But this was the amount that was approved after all said and done. So perhaps is this also what the Finance Ministry released to INEC to do this election? And you know that when it comes to election matters, we are very emotional about it. Yeah. Even the lawmakers will say, give INEC everything they want to, even if they want, just give it to them. Yeah. And this is away from their annual budget of 50 billion. This is just for them, for INEC. This is just for the elections. So what do you have to say about that, Nike, as you answer the question?
Let me start from the question. The question you just raised is the same question that we grapple with in the accountability and transparency, especially around government spending. It's the question of, oftentimes we are only able to say why, what, when, after the fact. So really, until we see a budget performance report, for instance, or until we can't say, oh yeah, this was how much was budgeted, this was how much was released, we can only work with the budget that we see in front of us. If INEC feels like, well, you guys keep talking about 305 billion, they gave us 100 billion, well, you have the floor, tell us. So let's know whether to carry our hackles and go and meet the Ministry of Finance and say, I don't understand. How did you expect them to carry out? But if we can only work with data as it's available, the truth as of now is 305 billion, and the budget as it's broken down is what we're working with.
And INEC hasn't come to say, this is not what we're giving.
Yes. And on the subject of gender and inclusivity, again, I would love to have a sit down with maybe not the INEC chairman. Perhaps we are putting a lot on the INEC chairman. Maybe there's someone who is in charge of maybe gender, diversity and inclusivity in Nigeria's elections or anything like that. Because what was this budget for? This 269.45 million, what was it for?